Hello and welcome to your non-stop shop of all things NBL1. This is the NBL1 Show. I'm Megan Hustwaite and of course, this is Pete Hooley.
Oh, so much happening. I think last week we saw probably game winner of the year won't be topped with that forecourt heave, and I think this week we've seen dunk of the year. So in back-to-back weeks, there's highlights galore, stories galore, two elite guests. Looking forward to talking about it.
It is all happening and that is what we love. But yes, two big guests coming up today. Cody Ellis, we're going to chat with him, and we're also going to speak with Olivia Thompson, both in absolute top form. But first, let's wrap up all of the weekend action right around the country. I mentioned Olivia Thompson, her and Ashley Spencer. Dangerous duo.
Well, they're definitely the best duo in NBL1 Central, that's for sure, and it could be around the country because when they're rolling, so are South Adelaide. They beat the Eagles 86-70, which was Liv Thompson's old team. Liv Thompson had 31 and 12, and Splash Spencer had 24 and 11. They just can do no wrong, those two.
They are incredible. Olivia Thompson, our guest today, she's had 7 double-doubles already this season. Incredible consistency.
Well, it's just good to see her back playing and the level she's playing at and looking like she's enjoyed this change to South Adelaide, Forestville Junior, and we'll be sure to ask her about that. And just out there, looks like she's having fun. They're smiling, they're enjoying it. Their only loss has been to Southern Tigers, who tried to really lock in to the dangerous duo of Spencer and Thompson. And when you do that, you're probably going to have a good chance to win because if you let them get off the hook, as we've just seen, they're going to win a lot more games than they'll lose.
Yeah, we love to see it. Let's head north now. There is one team on everyone's lips and it is Logan because they are dominating with both their men's and women's lineups.
Well, both teams are undefeated right now, and the men beat the Red City by 18 points in round 1 and then Ipswich by 10 in round 2. And we spoke to Jeremy Kendall last week, who had the triple-double. He backed it up with 24 and 9. Just good to see Jeremy Kendall running around and doing what he does, because anyone who knows him knows he can put this up night in and night out.
Well, he hasn't stopped running around, has he?
Well, he hasn't.
He has not stopped playing basketball.
I don't think he will. I think he'll be one of those guys. He'll be the Dave Anderson who ends up popping up at about 40 plus and gets it done.
What about the women? They beat Red City by 58 in round 1 and then Ipswich by 57 in round 2. So they're firing on all cylinders. Undefeated and won the championship last season. Michaela Roof, we saw her back in the WNBL last season with Canberra, 32 points and 26 boards.
Well, we've seen some big double-doubles already and triple-doubles around the league this season, 32 and 26. Big game from her, and good to see her stepping up and playing with that kind of confidence, knowing that she is a star and expecting big things from her this season up there.
They've got 2 other big stars in Ashley Tyre, another we saw in the WNBL last year. She had 35 points in round 1, and the experienced Michaela Can, always doing very nice things from the point guard spot. South, NBL1 South, and we're going to talk about Tasmania and hoops. It is a favourite topic of ours, but Northwest and Launceston, the men are sitting pretty at the top of the ladder with 7 wins and a loss.
Yeah, they're playing some really good basketball and taking care of business when they do go home, but they beat Eltham in this one. A lot of contributors, that's what it is. They're a deep team, so you can't just lock into one guy because everyone's stepping up, playing with the confidence. Taryn Armstrong has had 19, 19 and 20 in his first 3 games. So there's someone you really have to try and lock in on. It's him, but they're getting contributions from everybody.
They've also got the first Jack Jumpers signing.
Yeah, Sire Deans and coming in and first signing for them as a development player, and he's just going to enjoy himself. He's kind of already got that contract, so you don't have to worry about going too hard, just kind of play with a little bit less pressure. It's good to see what he can do, and I'm sure Scott Roth, the Tassie Jack Jumpers coach, will be loving what he's seeing.
Launceston women are second on the ladder, no thanks to the 2 big Ks. Keely Froling, our guest a few weeks ago, in absolutely dominant form. She's in Austria now for the Australian 3-on-3 Olympic qualifiers, but they got off to a late departure, the girls, at the weekend, which meant she was able to play on Sunday, which was a bit of a surprise. But when she's not there, Kelsey Griffin is KG23. She went to work against Eltham, 28 points, 15 rebounds, and then 24, 13 and 6 assists against Kilsyth.
It's going to be interesting to see how they go without Keely Froling, because remember the stat line she put up last week. She's been doing that all season so far. She's one of the best in the country, but when you're going to replace her with Kelsey Griffin, it's going to be a good little in and out to be able to get some wins, but they're still going to miss her input.
Yeah, they are. And they've even had the 2 of them out there together, which is frustrating.
That's dangerous. We talk about dangerous duos down in Adelaide. That's another one
that is
to
one.
watch out for.
Let's go west. It was game winners galore at the weekend, and we love to see it.
Oh, we've seen some big game winners already, and we've had our first 2 overtime game of this season. With Lee Rickwood Pitt hitting the game winner for Southwest over East Perth. And Always good to hit the game winner, but after double overtime, when you're just exhausted, just wanting it to end, it always feels a lot better.
Absolutely, and Alex Ciabattoni hit the dagger from the top of the perimeter, finished with 23 points, and it's great to see some of those Perth Lynx girls absolutely shining in this competition.
Well, she'll be one who wants to really have a good season and put it together, and that's a good start for her, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much better she gets over the season.
Absolutely. Well, it is time now to head west and catch up with our first guest this week. He's a star from the Senators. Welcome, Cody Ellis.
G'day guys, thanks for having me.
How's life at the top of the ladder?
Yeah, it's really good, really good. Playing well, enjoying how we're playing, and it's always good to be undefeated. Through the first few rounds.
Well, the first couple of rounds, bit of disruption, obviously, with COVID in Perth. And overall, how does it feel to be able to play games in front of fans? Like, it feels like it's such a amazing experience, considering what the last 18 months have been and what it continues to be at random points in Australia.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's good to get on the court and not just train. We had a bit of a hiccup here a couple of weeks ago, and that was a bit scary for us. Had to miss the round, but we'll make up for that. But just being able to, get out there and compete against all the talent around is lots of fun.
So the Senators have obviously been consistent to start the season, but so have you. You've scored 15 points or more in every game. What's been the key to this early season form?
To be honest, not a whole lot's changed for me, really. I, doing the same things I always do. I guess just taking my chances and my opportunities. We've got so many weapons on our team. I often, don't get the best defender guarding me. So, just taking advantage and, making my shots is really nice.
Well, you've been around the league a lot around Australia, and you've played in the NBL, so everybody knows your name and what you've done in your career. How does it feel stepping onto the court? And you mentioned you're playing against some elite guys, and you see the up-and-coming guys coming through. Must be exciting as you get older to watch these young guys come in, knowing the talent in Australia is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I coach our development team for the club, and just to be able to coach against and see some of these up-and-comers that do play at the NBL1 level as well. There's so much talent coming through, and I know it's the same for all the leagues around the country.
So it's the first season of NBL1 over there in the West. What has the buzz been like there?
Oh, it's huge. Even me personally, I've been trying to push for that sort of stuff over the past 6-7 years now, just to get some exposure for the local talent here. It kind of feels like over here we kind of get forgotten about a bit, and it's just awesome. Being able to watch the games with ease, and it's been great.
Well, what's going to be one of the best parts for exposure around the whole country is when it comes to finals time and the winning teams from each state playing in, I guess, kind of a tournament atmosphere that you remember back in the college days. It must be exciting. You don't want to look too far ahead, but the way you guys are playing, that if you get that opportunity to be part of that first NBL1 Australian kind of tournament to see the best team, must be cool to think about what could possibly be.
Dude, it'd be awesome. Talking to Dad, they kind of used to do this same kind of tournament back when he was playing, and he used to talk about how awesome it was, and just being able to compete against the best teams in the country is awesome. And like you said, for exposure, that's massive.
You mentioned your dad, the great Mike Ellis, of course. Was it nature or nurture, or both for you, Cody? Did you have a choice?
Yeah, definitely. Mum and Dad were really good growing up. I could play whatever I wanted. I fell in love with footy, and then I got to a point where I had to choose between footy and basketball, and basketball won out, and not exactly upset with the path I chose.
Well, no, you can't be. You've had a terrific career everywhere you've played, and still love all your basketball. I know you're very active on your social media with college basketball, NBA, NBL, but you seem to watch a lot of NBL. So what kind of experience, I guess, have you taken from playing at those levels and now giving to all the young guys on your team, knowing that a lot of these guys in the NBL1 West, the young guys coming through, that's their goal. They want to get on the NBL, and what better guy to learn from than yourself?
Yeah, man, just kind of, I guess, passing on those little tips and, trying to be a professional and looking after yourself, looking after your body, doing the right things. Just those little bits and pieces that kind of go unnoticed and unseen, from the outside. We've definitely got some guys that I think in the future could make that leap. And, it's awesome to be able to kind of share that wisdom.
Now, Cody, as Pete said, you've been around the traps of basketball, but the main thing I want to know is the Senators the best nickname of a team that you've played for?
Yeah, look, I think so. It's I love it. Look, my college team was named the Billikens, which is awesome if you know what a billiken is, but most people don't. So, look, I think the Senators is probably one of my favourite. Amongst the team, we're kind of known as the Spartans. So, it's kind of in our little victory song when we win, and it's awesome. It's I love it.
Well, I'll take that. I was the Great Danes at college and Spectres now. You get a lot of different ones. I do like it. I like the Senators a lot. But as you know me, big dog fan, so Great Danes, I'm going to take that.
Yeah,
we love seeing what you're doing. You're going to have a massive year. Hopefully we do get to see the Senators in that first tournament kind of grand final series around the country. Keep up the good work. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Time now to catch up with our second guest on the show this week. We head over to South Adelaide and catch up with one of their stars. Welcome, Olivia Thompson.
Hello, how are you guys? Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, we're not as well as you are because you are on fire, girlfriend. How are you enjoying the new club?
Yeah, it's great fun. Came across over to South Adelaide. Obviously, I've been a Forestville junior, played with Forestville Eagles my whole life, but came up against my old team Saturday night and got the win. It's always a good feeling. But no, I'm really loving South Adelaide. The culture's great. I'm loving playing with Geordie Hunter, our point guard. She's the league leader in the assists, I believe. Ashley Spencer, great shooter. Then we've got a lot of, experience on our team, mixed with a lot of development and up-and-coming players. So it's always great fun.
Well, I remember watching you as you were growing up and bouncing around the league, but always Forestville Junior. What happened? What was the change? Just wanted a different challenge, change of scenery, and then I'm sure, as you said, it was fun to play against the Eagles on the weekend.
Yeah, no, it's definitely fun. I guess I came back having a, WNBL season, had a bit of a break and played some netball. Then, I wasn't going to play basketball. And then Richard contacted me to play again. And that's why I made the move to South. So,
well, thank goodness you did get that ask to come back because you are absolutely balling out right now. And we're going to keep talking about it. But you and Splash, Ashley Spencer, what a dynamic duo you two are. You mentioned how fun it is to play alongside her. But you guys, whenever you guys seem to roll together, you seem to be unbeatable. What is it about you two playing together that makes you so hard to stop?
I think we work well off each other actually because, she loves shooting threes and I think we just got a really good duo combo going on. So, a lot of my shots are mid-range inside, layups, mid-range majority, and we work well off each other inside-outside game. So I think that helps.
As Pete said, we're so glad you're back on the basketball court. Is the passion back and flowing after some time away from the game and playing darn old netball?
Yeah, no, I think having a break and then I played a year with for Garville in the Premier League with netball. I think it just kind of, I got asked to play again and I work full time. I got a new house and I'm getting married this year. So I think my lifestyle's changed and that's reflecting on the basketball court. I feel more relaxed and I'm just out there playing and having fun.
Well, you mentioned obviously you got a job now, but now that you've decided to go back to basketball, there's going to be some people, surely some phone calls from WNBL teams coming knocking, seeing if you want to lace them back up in WNBL. Is that going to be an aspiration of yours?
Oh, look, I think I'm done with my WNBL days. I certainly had a great career. I feel I've achieved as much as I can. I started at a young age. I started AIS days, so 2009, playing professionally. I'm 28 now. I've had a good run, but I think my lifestyle here, playing back home in Adelaide and just playing locally, is sort of where I'm at the moment, and I'm enjoying it.
We do always like to see the background on Zoom of our guests because you guys work and you study and you have jobs and this is real life. You're in the work attire, Liv. Got the nice shirt going. So what do you do? Oh, there we go. What do you do for work?
Yeah, so I work full-time Monday to Friday at Ace Dental here in Adelaide. So I'm a dental nurse and receptionist. Full-time.
That is, well, considering the dentist is an absolute fear of mine, I'm very impressed that you would do the job for that. Now, I ask everyone from NBL1 Central, especially the South Aussies who have been around the league for a long time, favourite place to shoot. Now, you put up some big numbers already, but favourite venue to shoot at around the state, which one would it be? And you can't say Marion, you can't say your home floor. What would be your favourite away venue to shoot at?
Oh, that's a tough one because there are a lot of new stadiums put in Adelaide recently. I think Marion or South Adelaide are getting a new one as well. Might have to say Wayville because
That's an easy way.
I'm used to that.
Well, I've heard a lot of people have answered St Clair is one of their places they like to shoot at.
I've got to say one I don't like. Is Port Adelaide.
Fair enough.
West Adelaide. Too bouncy rings.
That's fair enough. I'm the same. I remember that one.
Liv, we know you're in excellent form and the team is as well, but what's the atmosphere and the buzz been like with NBL1 over in SA?
Look, I think it's great for the state. Also, I think, South Adelaide in particular, a club that sort of come from not winning a lot of games and now we're up in the winners board. I think that's something that we're really happy about as a club and as a team, and we're just priding ourselves on that, and we just got to keep winning because I think it's a great success for the club considering where they were. So I think, I think the buzz in our group certainly is really going strong at the moment.
Well, you're still only young. You're 28, but you're a veteran in terms of where you've been playing and the level you've been playing at. How does it feel to be able to come in and see all the young talent on display and a lot around the league of these young women who have those aspirations of getting to that level that you played at? It must be a cool feeling knowing that you've done what you could do in the WNBL and now seeing these women really strive to get there.
Yeah, as you said, there's a lot of up-and-coming players in our comp, especially in the SA NBL1. I feel there's a lot of, younger ones in the team. So you have your WNBL experienced players. You might have a couple or a few in each team, and then you've got a lot of the young ones up and coming. And you can see, they play alongside us, and we train with them, and we try and guide them and tell them, this is the ropes, this is how it goes. So I feel, that once their time comes and they hit the floor a lot more, they'll be able to take great strides in that.
Well, Liv, before we let you go, we need to know what's on the agenda today. Any root canals?
Oh, don't do it to me.
Yeah, we do have one actually.
I ask because I've got to get...
Right at the end of the day.
I've got to get like the second or third part of mine done this week and I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, no. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Liv. Keep balling out and we look forward to the rest of your campaign.
All right, guys. Thank you for having me.
Team of the week time. Let's start with NBL1 Women. It is an all WNBL lineup this week.
Oh, well, it is. And we spoke about Michaela Roof's game, 32 and 26. That kind of double-double will find yourself in Team of the Week. And a lot of familiar names. Kayla George, 25, 16 and 6. And versus Rockhampton. I'm expecting we'll get a couple of triple doubles out of Kayla George.
Oh, I think so. Olivia Thompson, our special guest we caught up with earlier, 31 points and 12 rebounds against her old side. Carly Bogue, like to see a Bogue in the lineup, and she's going to do big things too this season.
Well, 24 and 19 versus Warwick, and there's some big double doubles going on in the women's league. Just some rebounding magnets that looking forward to seeing some more kind of stat lines put up like that. And Kelsey Griffin, as you mentioned, averaged 26 and 14 over the weekend. That's a good double-header. It's tough to back up in those double-header games when it's the next day, next afternoon. And Kelsey Griffin had no worries there. It's a big game from her.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be the first time and the only time we'll see her in the team of the week this season. She is a star, and there's stars aplenty in the NBL1 men's team of the week, Pete.
Well, they are, and we're going to start with Townsville. Jalen Patton Croker, he had 24, 13 and 8 versus Rockhampton, and we have changed. You've got to win to get in team of the week because we've seen some incredible stat lines. We've got to make sure you've got to win, got to do enough to get your team to go in. So if you have 100 on a losing team, unlucky, won't be in team of the week. But Jalen Patton Croker, he got it done. Shaquille Maharaj for Central Districts, 29, 4 and 6 versus Eastern. That's always going to get you in there. Nice little dunk as well.
Like to see that. Michael Vigor from Willerton, 23 points, 14 rebounds and 6 assists. Now this player blew up social media over the weekend, which we love to see. Dave O'Hickey, our guy from Ballarat.
Well, this one right here, I mean, he had a great game, 31 and 14 rebounds, but that is dunk of the year. If anyone's played at the Ice House on that rim, it's about 7 foot. Doesn't matter, still a dunk. Yeah, that is a posted dunk. And Cohen Sapwell, son of the great Rupert Sapwell, 34 and 5 versus Sandringham. He's putting together some nice games this year. I'm telling you what, we talk about Tassie Jack jumpers around, young guy trying to put his name on the radar. Sapwell's not a name that we haven't heard for a while. Good to have Sapwell back on the radar. That
radar is going off, and so is our social media. Pete, where could you find us?
Well, if you're going to see dunks like that, it's going to be on the NBL1 Social on Instagram. So follow everything. There's going to be some elite highlights posted, and hopefully we get some more contenders for Dunk of the Year, but it's going to be tough to beat that from Dave O'Hickey.
A lot of contenders for camera work of the year. Unfortunately, there's not vision of something we wanted to show this week. Pete, what happened on the weekend?
Look, I'm flat, and I didn't know you were going to bring it up. Probably my only chase down block I'll get anymore, and expected to go check the phone after, just see, do I still have some sort of verticality, or is it just good timing? And in the end, we just heard some commentator's voice. So I'm a bit disappointed. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed that I actually hurt my groin as I came down because I'm old now, but that was probably the only highlight you'll get from me this year, and it turns out we won't even get that.
I haven't given up hope because we saw a fan at the footy on the weekend captured some behind the ball vision, which has ended up
in a tribunal.
In the tribunal, which is amazing. So if anyone was at that game, on their phone doing a bit of sneaky capturing, slide into our DMs. We want that vision.
I will give the cameraman credit. I think the only thing that's going to save him is he thought that, because the guy was going to dunk it from Knox, he thought I was going to get dunked on, didn't want that to be footage that would be played every single week. So appreciate you if that was the reason you didn't try to pan the camera. In the end, you've cost me probably my only highlight for the next 10 years of my career.
Also, never assume.
Yeah, well, I do. I'm not as athletic as I used to be, so I'll help him out here.
You're old, but you still got it.
not quite.
Thanks for joining us on the NBL1 Show. We look forward to whatever the next round of basketball brings. We'll see you next week.
I was building on a lecture, verses coming daily under pressure.